Hello everybody, Jamie here from FM Scout. In today's video, we're going to be looking at 6 clubs that you can manage that aren't currently available to try on the official game of FM. What I mean by that is you'll need to download a database for the game, which is in the description below, so check that out. That will take you directly to the download link of each club or which club you decide to do. But yeah, I'm going to basically challenge you to some of these. Some of these are really easy challenges, some are incredibly difficult, and we'll get to the difficult ones towards the end. But some of these are really, really good challenges and really good saves to do, and especially the fact that they're not currently available in-game when you buy the game. You know, it means you have to download it, but of course, people do make these databases for these type of clubs. So, without further ado, if you do enjoy this video, I've got another one planned, so let me know in the comments if you want to see another 6. I have another 6 nations planned, so yeah, do let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Apart from that, drop a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed, and let's get on with the video. So the first club I want to talk about is Belenenses, a Portuguese lower league club. Now the story behind this club is absolutely incredible. There's actually 2 Belenenses in Portugal right now. There's CF OS Belenenses and there's Belenenses SAD. Now Belenenses SAD are the team in the first tier, and Belenenses OS Belenenses are the team in the 6th tier. Now what happened is the club split in 2018 and 19. But the strange thing about it is the club that went to the 6th tier, which is this club right here, kept the crest, they kept the stadium, and it's crazy. Whereas they kept the fans as well. Whereas the team in the top tier, who's professional, are only averaging about 15 fans a game, while this team are averaging around 5,000 fans as an amateur club in the 6th tier of Portugal, which is absolutely phenomenal. So we're just gonna have a little look about the club so you can see. You know, I believe Belenenses are the only team outside of kind of the top 3 in Portugal, top 4 in Portugal, to win the Liga NOS. So you've got a lot of history behind this club. It's absolutely incredible save. And take that from me, because I've done this save. I've got them to the Champions League. And it really is an incredible journey. Like the things that you encounter on this save with the board, with the elections, it's really a good save. I could talk about it for hours, but I'm going to try not to. I want to show you a few little key moments, so let's have a little look at their facilities. So they play at the Estadio de Restelo, which is almost a 20,000 capacity stadium. They have, of course, fairly basic corporate. They have great training, poor data analysts, great youth. So already at a 6th tier Portugal club, great training facilities and great youth facilities, along with good academy coaching and good youth recruitment. If we have a quick look at their history, you can see they've won 23 cups, I think it was, if you look here. So you can see, enjoying the greatest era during the 1940s. Belenenses have a history they can be proud of, boasting a total of 23 competition wins. So that is, you know, a really incredible kind of thing to build on, you know. And if we look at their general as well, you can see you've got lots of legends. You've got 2,641 season ticket holders. But the link for this save is in the description, so if you do want to try this save, I want to know in the comments if you do plan on doing one of these saves, because like I say, I really want to know, and let's get it going. I mean, join the Discord, let us know in the Discord channel how your saves are going. The Discord link will also be in the description below, but that is team number 1. Okay, the next club I'm going to sing to is Apollon in Cyprus. Not sure how you pronounce it. I have looked up the actual name of this club and it's absolutely huge, so you've got no hope of me pronouncing that. But this club in Cyprus have won 7 league titles in a row. They are the top club in Cyprus. And it's easy to see why. They are generally in the Champions League season after season, but you may have to qualify. But my challenge for you is to win the Champions League with this club. I think it would be a really incredible challenge. You know, you never really see a Cyprus team get through the group stages of the Champions League. So that is my challenge to you. Let me know if you're going to accept it in the comments. But let's have a little look at the club. So in terms of their overview, they've won 28 Cyprus championships, which I'm assuming is, you know, the main cup, the main league, and then 21 Coca-Cola Cups, which I'm assuming is like their FA Cup, and then the Super Cup as well, which I guess is kind of them they play them kind of thing. But if we look at their background, as you can see here, so having enjoyed the greatest era in this current decade, Apollon are undoubtedly one of the most successful clubs in Cyprus, boasting around a total of 62 competition wins, which is pretty incredible. I don't think you can see by the trophies, they've never really done much in terms of the Champions League and stuff. But if we go to the general tab, let's have a look at the ground. The name of the stadium is GSP, and they pay 86k rent on it. It's a capacity of 22,859, which is pretty good. It was built in 1999, so you've always got that chance of potentially a new stadium if you take over this club. You've got obviously very good pitch condition. Your corporate's average. You've got great training. You've got basic data. You've got good youth. You've got adequate academy coaching, and you've got excellent youth recruitment. So a very good club in terms of what you're coming up against in Cyprus. I want to have a little look at the season preview, because I'm assuming that you'll be predicted to finish top. I don't see any how you wouldn't. Apparently, the best player in the league is not your player, though, but your best player is Musa El Tamari, who is a Jordanian 22-year-old right winger. So you'll need to kind of use this guy quite a lot. He is kind of valued at 2.2 million. But in terms of your actual squad, you don't have that much value. So the highest being 2.2 million. You've got a lot of players on loan. I just want to also look at the league rules as well, because I've always been intrigued to see what the league rules are, just so you know before you actually decide to do it. So the match squad must have no more than 5 non-EU players. Under 22 players are automatically eligible to play in all matches. So, it's not really that bad. So the reason I tell you these saves is literally because I just don't have time to do them, but I really want to give them a go. So I would honestly consider giving this a go. I mean, they are already ranked 18th in the world, so I don't know why they're not actually on FM to begin with, but they are technically higher than the Championship. So I think it would be a really incredible save. And, it's not a massive league either. In terms of the league, there's only 12 clubs. But yeah, I would really, really try and continue this tradition of trying to stay top of the league and maybe eventually try and, battle for the Champions League. So that is Apollon. Let's move on to the next club. Okay, so the challenges are starting to get a little bit harder now. We moved to Bosnia, and the reason I've chosen Bosnia, can you guys remember a few years ago on Football Manager, I don't know if it was like FM13, FM12, where there used to be lots and lots of Bosnians regions come through, and there always used to be some good players coming from Bosnia. And there still is, to be fair. So, I thought we'd put Bosnia in here for that reason, and they do have clubs in the Champions League who generally you don't see even make the group stage, which is why I wanted to put these here. So you've got Football Club Sarajevo. These are the club that I've chosen. They haven't had the best, they're kind of inconsistent in terms of winning the league, which is why I've chosen them. So, they finished kind of the last 3 years, 4th, 3rd, and 3rd again last year, but then they won the league in 2018 and 2019. But let's have a little look at the facilities now. So they play at Asim Faratić Haze Kosovo, which is a 34,630 capacity stadium, which is absolutely huge. It was built in 1946. It was rebuilt in 1984. They've got great training facilities and excellent youth, which is higher than the first 2 clubs we've seen, despite it being more of a challenge. So bear that in mind. So you're going to get some decent youth intakes from this club. And you've got good academy coaching and good youth recruitment. I want to quickly have a look at the past winners, because it seems to be kind of between, you've obviously got Zelzelnikar, you've got Zurinsky, Mostar. I'm sorry, I'm absolutely butchering these names, but yeah, it's kind of a mixture between them 3 clubs who finishes top. So you've got a bit of work to do in terms of becoming the biggest club in terms of Bosnia before you even think about the Champions League. But you do have 2 really good players in Benjamin Tatar, who's valued at 400k. He isn't capped for Bosnia, but he is very good right winger, I guess, in terms of the quality. And then Ramovic, who's a attacking midfielder. So you've got 2 very good attacking options. I'm intrigued to see the rules again in Bosnia, so let's have a little look at the rules. So the match squad must have no more than four foreign players, which that's really hard actually, which is why they're kind of 3rd in the list. That is a really difficult challenge, so you've really got to rely on your youth intake. So this is not for the faint-hearted. You do need to have a lot of Bosnians, which is why you can see there's very little other nationalities in this team. But in terms of your values, your highest valued player is a Macedonian striker who's valued at 475k. The guy's on £250 a week. He's actually pretty decent, to be fair. So yeah, it's a big challenge. Let me know if you're up for it in the comments. But that is FK Sarajevo. On to the next club now, and KF Tirana in Albania. Now, the reason I've chosen Albania, I played in Albania probably in FM15, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And we've picked Tirana because they kind of was dominating let's call it the Premier League. They was dominating the Premier League for a long while, between like 98 to 2004. They had a little drop off, won the league again. They dropped right down, didn't win the league for about 7 to 8 years. They got relegated actually, got promoted again. And then they finished 7th last year, but interestingly enough, they are predicted to finish 1st this year, which is pretty interesting. But let's have a look at the ground and their facilities. So they play at Selmanster Massey, capacity of 12,724, though only 6,000 is seated, and 6,000 capacity is used in normal matches. It was built in 1946, rebuilt in 1947. It's owned by the council, so you pay rent on it, but you only have adequate training, adequate youth, adequate recruitment, and average academy coaching. So you've got a challenge on your hand because I don't know where the money's going to come from. Let's have a look how much money you start with. You start with 458,000 in the bank with a wage budget of 14k. Now, what's interesting about this save is they don't actually start in the Champions League, so you've got a season to kind of familiarise yourself with the club, with the the rivalries, all that kind of stuff. You have 1,971 season ticket holders, which isn't really that bad, to be honest, in comparison to the kind of rest of the league. But let's have a little look at the season preview. So if we go to, in fact, let's quickly look at what they've won over the years. So they've won 24 of these, 16. So they've won a lot of trophies, you can see. If we go to the background, so you can see, having enjoyed the greatest era in the 2000s, which we said, Tirana are one of the most successful clubs in Albania. 51 competition wins, which is pretty incredible, right? So let's quickly go to the season preview because I want to check the rules also. Well, the best player in the league is Augustin Terrassa, who is your Argentinian right winger. So you've got a very good right winger. You know, he will probably dominate the league, to be fair. The guy's on £110 per week, which is kind of showing you the level of what we're at the moment. And in terms of we are predicted first, you know, there is a story about Albania, and I'm sure it's this club right here, Skenderbeu, who are banned from the Champions League or any European competition. Let me know in the comments. It feels like it's something in Albania. I know there's a club banned. I'm just not sure if it's them. But yeah, make sure you check out that. And then let's have a quick look at the rules. So I've got a feeling there's some interesting rules here. So there must be no more than 4 foreign players in the playing 11. So which is why you'll see your team is mainly full of Albanians, with the exception of a few different nationalities. But a very big challenge. I've never ever seen an Albanian team in the Champions League group stages. Maybe you guys have, but I definitely haven't. So you've got a challenge on your hand. You've also got a guy, which is interesting, on £6,000 a week. So if you are going to do this save, your number one tip should be to get rid of this guy. I don't know why he's on 6,000 and he's on 3,800, while the rest of the team is on £110. So yeah, make sure you get rid of them too, and maybe split it out between the rest of the team. Let's move on to the next one. On to the next club now, and Sutjeska is the next club in Montenegro. These are a club that have won the league title the last 2 years in a row, which is why I've chosen them. They are in the Champions League from the first season. They are. It's pretty interesting, so you're gonna have to play in the Europa qualifying leagues as well. But let's have a little look at the general. So you know you've got a few rivalries. You are in the Champions League, like I said. You only have 400 season ticket holders, so you can tell it's getting a lot harder. We've got one more team to go yet, which is even harder. But you've got a few icons, you've got a few legends. Let's have a little look at what they've won. So they've only won a few titles. So generally, they're not the biggest club in Montenegro, I guess. We'll have a look at the history on that in a second. But in terms of their let's have a look at their overview, actually. Let's have a look at how many they've won. So as a club which is currently enjoying its best spell of success, their last competition win was coming early as 2019. They are a club with growing history, which is really interesting. We won the Yugoslav second tier in 1964, 66, and 84. Now, if we go to the league, and let's have a little look who generally wins the league. So, to be honest with you, there's so many different teams that win it. There's a few clubs that no longer even exist. But it's a very hard league to try and get the grasp upon. I want to check the season preview as well. We'll have a look at the stadium in a second. But you've got Marko Vucic, who is one of your better players as a left-back. Pretty strong, actually. Only 22, so you might be able to sell this guy for a bit of money. You've also got Marko Setravic, who is a centre mid. He is 32, so he's a little bit aging. But you are predicted top, so you know you've got a good chance after winning the league 2 years in a row. You've got a very good chance. I want to check the rules again, of course. So there must be no more than 4 foreign players in the playing 11, which, you know, again, it's kind of expected in these type of nations. I mean, this club itself literally has 1 foreign player, so you've got a bit of movement to go towards. In terms of the balance, you've got 780k in the bank. You've got a wage budget of 7,570. There's no one really in the team who's on a lot of money. You can see right here, your best players are on generally £400. But of course, you will enter the early stages of the Europa League, or the Champions League qualifying round. So it's going to be a challenge. Also, it looks like you've got a challenge because most of your players are wanted already. So it's going to be a very difficult to keep all of these, as the rep of the club is generally around 68th, which in English terms is probably like the National League, I'm going to say. So, incredible difficult challenge. But let's have a look at the stadium. So, you play at the Gradski Stadion, which is in Nikšić. It's got a 5,214 all-seater stadium. It doesn't tell you the year built or rebuilt. Obviously you've got adequate corporate, you've got average training, you've got good youth, which is interesting, and you've got excellent youth recruitment, which is really, really good. So generally the intakes for of course for Montenegro is generally going to come through your kind of team. At the minute you've got not really anything in the under-19s, and the under-21s you've only got a couple of players who you should probably look at bringing into the first team. But yeah, that is that club, and let's move on to the next. Now, are you ready for the biggest challenge that you're ever going to do on Football Manager? Well, you hopefully you are, because you're going to be taking over Football Club Santa Coloma, who are in the Andorran Premier League. A club founded in 1986. They are currently semi-professional. They are playing in the Champions League as well. So, honestly, I will salute you if you can get these guys to the Champions League group stages. Of course, they have won the league for that the last 6 or 7 years in a row. So they're on kind of the good form. They play on a synthetic pitch, which we'll go through the pitch stuff in a second. I want to have a little look at their history of what they've won. So let's go on to the club background. So it says FC Santa Coloma have a history they can be proud of, having won 29 competitions, boasting to a total 29 competition wins. Here are just some of the highlights. So you can see on the screen what they've kind of won, but it looks quite an interesting club. The reason I've chose it is because their facilities. They play at Centre de Entertainment, which is a really good name for a 236 capacity stadium. It was built in 2015, so really, really kind of new. I'm not sure if there's any expansion on this, but I don't think you're ever going to have the money to do that anyway. It's owned by the council. You don't really pay any rent for it. You have basic training. You have poor youth, and you have excellent youth recruitment. So this club is going to be where most of the Andorran intakes come from. So it's not a bad thing to worry about, really. I know Andorra might not have the best youth players, but they're always going to have someone good from Andorra, So you can see with your squad, you have a few. Let's go to the season preview first, actually. I'm assuming you predicted there's only actually 8 teams in the league, so I'm not even sure how the league system works. But you've got a few players here. You are predicted top. You've got Camuchu, who is your main Spanish striker, valued at 22k, £350 per week. Love that determination of 19. Good finishing as well. And then if we go to the next one, you've got Andre Azevedo, who is a Portuguese right winger. You've not got, some bad players, to be fair, but you're not going to win the Champions League in the first year. You're probably not even going to qualify for the group stages in the first year. And let's quickly go to the league. I want to see the format of the rules. Let's have a look at the rules. So you can see under 9, there's not actually any rules, which is really interesting. You can actually build maybe some African players in this team. Honestly, if you guys ain't going to try this, I'm going to probably try it myself. But you only get 43k prize money for actually winning the league. And that qualifies you for the first round of the Champions League. So you've got a lot of games to play. I mean, it's not a bad thing that you don't have that many teams in the league, I guess. You only play I think you might play them 3 times. Get some friendlies in. But your aim has got to be to raise that rep up, because you've got to somehow... You've got to, because otherwise you're not going to get anywhere. And that is only going to come by obviously winning or getting further in the Champions League. So that's the biggest challenge that I'm going to give you in today's video. That is the end to the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Drop a like on the video if you have. Something a little bit different, of course. I just want to give you a few challenges at this point in the year for FM20. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.